where essentially it begins, right?
Yes. This is where it begins. So we are back on the uphill of Stage 5, Battle 1 against the... What was the team? Route 246.
Route 246 against the NB Miata.
Right. It's a lovely day now, and we thought we'll just take up a drive and show you guys the entire route. And you can check here in our last video where we talked in depth about the characteristics of this Touge. It's very, very different from most other Touges that are featured in Initial D, or actually even compared to a lot of other Touges.
Well, from here it just looks like a standard road. The further you go in, the just crazier it gets.
Yeah, so this lower part is actually more like kind of a high-speed run until you get to this point, and the surface from here actually changes to something similar to cobblestones. Why do you reckon they have this kind of surface? There's actually like circular indents on the road surface.
I think it's for snow. That's the only thing I can really think of around that bend coming down. But I mean, the whole road's full of snow, so
yeah, it does get quite
weird one. God, the jack in the back.
Oh no, you didn't secure that. So we're in Josh's Altezza with the 4-cylinder 3SGE engine, and one thing about the Altezza is that it does have rather long gear ratio. So I think on a tight course like this, we're going to be using a lot of second and third.
Yes.
But not able to use the full revs. We don't need to go all full crazy.
That's right. A few cyclists. Again, this road is quite popular for cyclists.
Yeah, and in real life, motorcycles, cyclists, a lot of tourists do come up and down, as you can see here. Minivan.
That's where these mirrors are a god saver.
They are. First, tight left-hander, and you got that guardrail just so close to you. And as we're going up, we walked down this section earlier in our last video, and you can see how the guardrail is just battered out. A lot of the street races actually go really hard on the uphill, and just looking at this road, you can see how the pacing of these curves makes it quite a challenge. But in reality, they're really much tighter than how it's depicted in the anime, like we talked about. Like driving through this now, there's no center line, and what are you getting? Can you see around the corners?
No, that's why you need to use these mirrors. Certain angles, you can see they're designed for which side of the road, so which driver generally has to give way based on your field of vision on these mirrors. But in terms of actually racing this course knowledge is so imperative to actually run this road pretty well.
Absolutely. And now,
not knowing what you're coming and not knowing where you're going, yes, you could end up in the bottom of the ravine.
Oh, and actually a lot of street racer guys have actually ended up over the ravine. It's super tight left-hander here where it goes into a single lane. Can you imagine just piling up this road and then another car comes? But in the nighttime you can see the oncoming headlights. In the day is actually, I would reckon, a little bit more dangerous.
It is.
So we're just going to take it slow and go through these rhythmic, almost, well, I wouldn't say it's really rhythmic because they don't actually follow a certain pattern.
Not really, it's erratic. They just found the most suitable, easiest path to get up the mountain. And is it an old route, Ken?
It is a very, very old route. It's basically, the whole route goes through, past the finish line of the one that's depicted in the anime, the bus stop, to the Miyagase Dam, which now it's closed off.
It is. Is that due to just snow or roadworks?
I think it's roadworks from the last typhoon, so you can't actually go through all the way to the end.
I see. So could this road itself have been here since like
Maybe the
times?
50s or yeah, I think so. I think this is like an old path road that goes over the mountains and then they just paved over it, which would explain its.
Sorry, I don't understand. By the way, if you want to listen to the news while you drive, just say, "Hey Google, play the news."
Hey Google, go away.
Go away. We somehow activated Google on your phone. That's funny.
There's this song I play sometimes. I can't remember which song, and it always activates it as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So right here, it changes camber suddenly on the left side of the roadway. Actually goes down, and now it's going into one lane. You got a normal motorist coming down the road, and you literally have to stop to let them go.
Yeah. By the looks of it, you can see those marks on the road. This is a popular section just to do some backyard drifting, to put it simply.
Yeah.
Yep.
As we said earlier in the last video, like it's not even suitable for a brisk driving exercise, you know.
Quite tiresome actually.
I think the worthy point of this road is to get to that Nanohara viewing gallery where you can see a fantastic view of the Hadano city and into the sea.
Looks like a few people have been getting adventurous in this new section. Look at that.
You can see tire marks. This is where it gets smoother.
This was recently rebuilt, wasn't it?
It was,
This whole road was repaved in this area.
Yes.
And the Sky Terrace is on our left.
Let's go in and fix that.
Jack noise.
And this also appears in another car manga called Overrev.
Overrev, yes.
Yeah. The episode with the what was that? The naked queen?
The Naked Queen.
Yeah.
Self-explanatory right there.
Self-explanatory.
But yes, her vehicle of choice is an R32 GTS-T, which does utilize the older RB20 engine.
And so the characters in Overrev also come. They don't go as far as Hakone, but the reason they probably do this road is because it's connected to the Miyagase Dam,
Yes,
which is connected to the so-called Yokoyama Road, which is Route 20 of
that's
Koshikaido.
right. You can pretty much take back roads the whole way here. Yeah. All right, continuing on to the next part. Wow, they really abuse this road.
Yeah, look at that.
Far out.
But those tire marks have been here for ages as well. So now on the second part, going all the way up to the bus stop, this is where it gets quite technical because there's a lot of these literally single lanes, and some of these corners which we're going to show you is really blind.
Very blind.
How's it with the rhythm of going up this road as you're driving?
It's hard to guess. It's really hard to guess. You've got no vision. You really need to be a local to maximize the effectiveness of this course.
And even like for this part, the bumps on the road, you know, if you go on this at speed, it does require, you know, really good balancing of the dampers and the suspension settings, especially going on the uphill, where it's not very level, isn't it? The road surface.
No, it's very cambered. The undulations are quite apparent as well.
Oh, and here it goes back into a single lane again, but actually it's okay for two cars to pass.
Yes.
Hardly. Mirror check, going around the corner. Oh, you can see the huge damage on that guardrail there. That was massive.
That was pretty massive.
Here's probably the only section where you can see through all the chicanes. That was probably depicted in the anime as one of the more high-speed parts. Probably this section here, and then
Then
two
again,
lanes,
just suddenly, yes, into one lane.
one lane. could see on the right hand side, if they were going down to the road surface, this suddenly gets
What?
really bad. You see here, yeah, exactly, this happens. That was enough of a close call actually. At slow speeds. Honestly, I do not like this road at all.
No, I don't too. It's just more of the cold factor it's got going around it. It is a very local street racing road.
Yeah.
Very local. You come up here on a Friday, Saturday night, it's packed.
And yeah, you were here recently. Well, what did you see?
Well, I was here, it was foggy, it was raining. The conditions were absolutely horrible and it was still packed. There were people actually doing street drifting,
Going up hills, right?
going uphill and downhill,
my
hanging
goodness.
out, having fun. I just couldn't believe it. And there we go again. Just turn my lights on.
I actually wonder why so many tourists, you know, despite knowing how dangerous this road is, they still come up here.
Yeah, well, it's die-hard mountain climbing people, isn't it? You call them mountaineers?
Mountaineers. Hikers.
Hikers. Where did I get mountaineers from?
That gives an image of like they're using like ropes and picks, you know.
Yeah.
But Japan does have a lot of very nice hiking trails, and this is part of the Altezza mountain range, which has a lot of mountain hiking trails. But I doubt these people are actually coming up to do that. They're just doing some sightseeing.
Yeah.
So, despite you know the road being dangerous, it's still frequented by street racers at night and sightseeing tourists in the day. Wow, you know,
And those cyclists. You always have those cyclists. Oh, almost at the pass now, aren't we? Or the top of the pass?
almost at the top. You see, this part is just single lane sides all the way. Although a lot of the right-handers you can see into the next section across from you, so it gives a little bit of visual clues. But it's the left-handers that you really have to check the mirrors before going in. And we have another cyclist here who's working hard to build up his leg muscles.
Kudos to him going this far.
I never understand why people want to cycle up mountains, but just
Yeah.
we're drivers. So we reached the end of the course that appears in Initial D. This is the Quasi National Park car park, and if we were to keep going further down,
Let's go.
right now it's closed off up to a certain point, I think. Let's just venture a little past this just to see whether the road improves or not, and no, absolutely not. But it seems to be a little bit more rhythmic in the section after this.
Well, here we're not climbing the mountain, we're just traversing through the valley
Yeah.
to the other side. We're essentially at the top now. And as you do go further, it does start getting into cedar-dominated woods.
Which is a lot of in Japan.
And we are following the natural river course that came through this valley as well. This is what this road snakes along with.
Ah, yes, that's right. So it's
now's,
built along the lines of following nature's lines, isn't it?
Yes. And now's a good time to go trout fishing in this area.
Ah, yes, the freshwater rivers coming all the way from the Altezza Mountains.
Yes.
Japan does have a lot of really nice, unique outdoors. It's very different from Australia or from Canada or from Europe.
Oh, it's very different. And even the microclimates. I remember I came here once, and before that I was on Izu Peninsula near Shimoda. Out there it was 25 degrees. It was a beautiful sunny day. By the time I came up here, it dropped to 2 degrees and it was snowing.
Wow.
Yeah, that's in a space of about a 2-hour drive.
Yeah, it's really interesting how, you know, you can travel for 2 hours and the environment completely changes. Because Japan is ultimately quite a compact country, so to speak.
It's
So
quite
should we
compact, but it's
So
so
I think
different.
we might have to turn back soon or something.
At some point, yes.
At some point.
It actually goes for a decent,
Quite a while, yeah.
while
So we
until it breaks down. As you can see, those hikers are ready to climb to the top there.
the problem is there's nowhere we can do a safe UE.
Oh, there'll be a point probably where the road's closed off.
this bit actually is a bit better
Yeah.
for driving, in my opinion.
Yeah. Still very tight and narrow though.
How about we U-turn here?
It's closed off from here, isn't it? Yeah.
Anyway, here you can back up.
Suripu.
注意. Tolketsu, like the sign means be careful of road freezing over.
You ever been up here?
Yeah, I have.
It's a really nice view.
Yeah.
Of Mount Fuji from there.
Yeah. I think that's what people are going for.
Yeah?
For these tours, probably.
I was thinking of going camping there one time.
We have to do that.
Just pitching up a tent in that little section.
This bit until the bus stop actually reminds me a lot of roads in Europe,
Yeah?
minus the guardrails in Europe.
Okay.
A lot of the French and the Spanish mountain roads have the same sort of curve that sort of starts off tight, ends up, quite open, or the other way around.
I see.
Very good for WRC runs if you can guarantee there's no traffic coming from the other direction. It's fantastic. I would say this road is actually a really good test ground to set up tires and suspension and brakes on a car.
Would be.
If there wasn't this danger of just normal traffic coming the other way.
Probably at night time in summer it's more better for that.
Yeah.
There's not even traffic, you just saw those hikers as well. You don't want to round a corner and there's the hiker on the road.
Oh no way.
Yeah.
What do you think of the drifting that you saw by the those street racers? How were they doing it?
Oh, it was
A lot of handbrake pulling?
handbrake pulling, but it was wet, so yeah. Foggy and wet, so it was really hard to see exactly how they were approaching it. But yeah, they were doing well despite the conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Would love to come up here on a night with much better conditions and see how it goes.
That would be very interesting to see.
Yeah.
Interview them at some point.
Would be.
And we're back at the roundabout where bus stop is. It's kind of dead now. There are no more vending machines. And here's where on the right is where start of on the Nanahara hiking course. And there's one that also runs on the other side that kind of snakes round these range of mountains.
You can see how much colder that pass was compared to here because the vegetation's starting to get a bit greener here now.
Yeah.
Well, that's still stuck in winter back there.
Although they haven't warmed up that much, and today is April the 8th. One good thing though about Japanese roads, and this is quite common in many Tokyo roads that we've driven, the road surface is mainly in good condition. Of course, there's some like in Saitama. Was that the Shomaru Pass that you were saying?
Yeah, that's rubbish.
That's rubbish.
It's rubbish.
They do no maintenance to that.
Even
at
in
all.
Ibaraki, Tsukuba Fruits Line, where you saw Takumi go against God Hand and God Foot. That's a nice 180.
That's a clean 180.
Yeah, the old Fruits Line itself is rubbish. The guardrails haven't even been repaired. The road's all bumpy, there's cracks in the road, potholes. But it's still a thoroughfare to get to certain areas of there. Continue on, Ken's driving now.
Had some technical problems a bit there. Camera gets too hot, although I don't understand why. So we are going to go down, continue past the viewing gallery. Oh my goodness. Yeah. New alignment settings that you've done makes this Altezza rear-wheel drive a lot more predictable, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's gonna change the final drive and the clutch, and it's good.
I find the brake response is improved.
They have improved. They're a lot better than before.
So yeah.
Sometimes when it does heat up a bit after prolonged driving, there is some fade, but it's not bad.
So let's talk a little bit about why checking your tires and make sure your brakes and suspension is the most important thing in performance driving, especially on the mountain roads.
Okay. Well, personally, me, you can see how Ken's driving right now. Imagine if his brakes faded just then, or even now. We'll get a lot quicker down to the bottom of the mountain, but not in the way we wanted to. You want the responsiveness as well. As you can see that these roads here, we are getting thrown around a bit, but they're also undulating and bumping. If you have racing suspension set up and you get that sudden change, it can disrupt the balance of the car.
Absolutely. Especially on realistic mountain roads. And I think, like you said, Japan has got really good mountain roads. Oh, just road surfaces, sorry. But this particular one, you can see just like the undulations and the different camber really puts a strain on the suspension system. It has to have enough rebound to, make sure your tire just grips, especially if you're going at the limit of grip.
It's always got contact on the road. You don't want three wheels having contact on the road and the fourth one's up in the air just for that second and then it contacts again, or it's lighter. It'll just change the whole dynamic of the car instantly. And especially you're in a situation where you need to be... Sorry, I'm quite impressed. Where you need to have the car responding to how you want it, where you need it to be where you want it. You don't want that sudden change. I think Ken's enjoying this.
I'm just taking a Sunday drive. But seriously, yes, you're absolutely right. After we did the alignment, getting the toe settings all right, I feel that the rear is more confident now, and I can like push on the throttle a little bit more while coming out like just before the corner like this, pushing under the pedals and under steer.
And you do feel that weight transfer to the back.
Yes.
As you're braking, you can feel the rear is pushing, but at that sweet spot, it's actually stopping and allowing you to transfer even more efficiently. Beautiful road in terms of the view.
That's one thing. It's the passenger that can enjoy the view rather than the driver.
Yes.
So a lot of Japanese couples do come out here for date drives where they come here to enjoy the view and the guy gets to enjoy a bit of Touge. Maybe don't push it so hard because the girlfriend can scream. These mirrors are a lifesaver, I tell you.
How do you feel the brakes are?
They are a bit spongy on the pedal feel, but they do stop.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it like good 2 taps before confidently trying to brake into the corner. I think it can be improved. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's the what do you think? Calipers need rebuilding, probably. It's not biting as like if you really push hard, the pads bite. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just used to my very stiff brake pedal in the Hondas. Maybe that's just Toyotas. You think?
Yeah, Toyotas are like that.
I like that.
Remember the older Toyotas, the brake pedal was very soft and the accelerator was very sensitive.
Maybe we need seltzer calipers. Ooh, that'll be a wonderful upgrade. Well, anyway, guys, brakes and tires. Okay, if you had to choose one component to upgrade first, tires, brakes, or suspension, you want to drive on a Toyota, what would it be?
It's a hard one.
It's a hard one, right? I would like to say tires, but if we're just specifically talking about going on a mountain road where you have to go downhill,
It would be brakes.
it would be brakes, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Then tires.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to go crazy on driving, but if you're just even going normally downhill, and if you don't have the stopping power from your brakes. It's actually a dangerous thing.
It is. They are two critical components. Well, three, but yeah, tyres and brakes would save your life. Oi,
It's the
280.
same guy.
Same guy.
I always see it's a 2x2. It's a
Hmm.
long body.
He always comes up here.
Oh, I always see him around the neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
Convenience stores. I don't know if he comes up here.
I love this section through here. The cedar trees.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit of history why there are a lot of cedar trees in Japan.
Post-war, as you know, Japan got heavily firebombed. And in the post-war period, they needed to rebuild a lot of the country. And cedar traditionally was used as a good building or framework, or just good building material in general for building houses and other infrastructures. So they transplanted, well, not transplanted, they planted a lot of cedar into the countryside, into the mountains. Over time it grew, and as Japan modernized, they realized that they didn't need cedar as much as a building material, so they generally just left it everywhere. So Japan 100 years ago would have a very different landscape to what we're seeing now. This is only a recent phenomenon.
Yeah.
And because of that, so many cedars everywhere. Once cedars get to about 20 years or older, they do produce a lot of pollen.
Just the cause of severe hay fever symptoms with a lot of Japanese people. You know what? I'm loving that sound from that air filter combined with this exhaust and the this 3SG laptop engine, because it does sound at times like a 4AG. You know what we have to do, right? We have to buy a Sprinter Terreno AE86
Be nice.
in the full Takumi colors.
That would be nice.
Is that part of your dream?
It is. Yeah, why are those cobblestones there? To let you know it's the end of the road?
Ah, that's interesting. Probably because right after that point, now we're into residential areas. Actually.
Yeah. And that's that. That's Yabitsu Touge.
Thanks guys for watching, and we'll be hoping to bring you a lot more different adventures. It's not going to be just initial D roads. We're going to also showcase beautiful scenic driving roads. It's just more than initial D. Japan has a lot of these really nice touge.
If you're keen to keep joining us on this journey, just like and subscribe, and we'll just keep showcasing what makes this country so special and what makes it an amazing experience to drive. Till then, see you next time.
Peace out.